There's a frog sitting in a forest right now, or in Alaska, or right here in the American Northeast, and its heart has stopped beating. It's not dead, it froze solid. Its blood stopped moving, its lungs shut down. If you picked it up, it would feel like a little ice cube with eyes. And come spring, it just wakes up, hops away, like nothing happened. That's not science fiction. That's a real animal living in your backyard. And it's just the beginning. Meet the wood frog, Rana sylvatica. Found all across North America, from the Appalachians up to Alaska. Looks totally ordinary, brownish, small, forgettable. But every winter, this little guy does something no human has ever been able to do. It freezes itself, on purpose. When temperatures drop, the wood frog doesn't burrow deep into warm mud like other frogs. It just sits there under some leaves, and it lets itself freeze. Its heart stops, its breathing stops. Ice fills up its body cavity and surrounds its organs. If you poked it, it wouldn't react. Scientists call this suspended animation, and it sounds like something out of a Marvel movie, except it's 100% real. Here's the crazy part. Its liver starts pumping out massive amounts of glucose, sugar, right into every single cell in its body. That sugar acts like antifreeze. It prevents the cells from being destroyed by ice crystals. The frog essentially turns itself into a living popsicle. It survives like this for up to 7 months. Then spring hits, temperatures rise, the frog thaws from the inside out, the heart restarts, and within hours, it's hopping around looking for a mate. Scientists at universities across the country are studying this right now, because if we can understand how the wood frog does this, we might be able to freeze human organs for transplant without destroying them. Heart transplants, liver transplants, lives saved because of a frog. Now let's talk about a frog you definitely don't want to mess with. Meet Trichobatrachus robustus. Scientists call it the hairy frog, but its other nickname is far more accurate, the horror frog. Found in the rainforests of Cameroon, West Africa, and when this frog gets threatened, it does something that makes even biologists uncomfortable. It breaks its own bones, on purpose. Inside each of its hind toes, there are small, sharp bones, normally hidden under the skin. When the frog is attacked, it contracts its muscles so forcefully that it snaps those bones and forces them right through the skin of its own feet, creating a set of claws, like a real-life Wolverine. Think about that. The frog literally injures itself to make weapons. It tears through its own skin so it can fight back. And here's the thing. Scientists believe when the threat is over, the claws retract and the frog heals. Amphibians are remarkably good at regenerating tissue, so this frog might be deliberately wounding itself over and over, healing each time. Biologists first noticed this around 1900, but it took over 100 years, until the 2000s, for scientists to figure out the actual mechanism. That's how weird and unexpected this adaptation was. Okay, you've seen a frog that cheats death. A frog that stabs itself to make weapons. Now meet the frog that could kill 10 people with its skin. The golden poison dart frog. About the size of a paperclip, native to the rainforest of Colombia. And it is, by some measures, the most toxic animal on the entire planet. The poison it carries is called batrachotoxin. 1 gram of this stuff could theoretically kill around 100,000 people. One tiny frog carries enough to kill roughly 10 adult humans. Indigenous tribes in Colombia, the Imbera people, have used this frog for centuries. They would carefully rub their blowgun darts against the frog's back to coat the tip. 1 dart, 1 shot. It worked. Now, the interesting thing is, the frog isn't actually born poisonous. It gets its toxins from the insects it eats in the wild. Captive-raised poison dart frogs, raised on different food, totally harmless. But here's the twist. That same deadly poison is now being studied by researchers at Stanford University and NIH as a potential painkiller because of the precise way it affects nerve cells. The deadliest animal on Earth might one day be responsible for treating chronic pain. Frog skin chemicals are already being used to study treatments for everything from infections to cancer. We've been sleeping on frogs. Let's do a quick run through a few more things that frogs do that seem completely impossible. The glass frog, found in Central and South America, has skin so see-through on its underside, you can literally watch its heart beating. Some species even have transparent bones. It hides from predators by becoming nearly invisible. And one species does it by shoving almost all of its red blood cells into its liver while resting, making its body see-through from above. The Darwin's frog from Chile, the male swallows the fertilized eggs after the female lays them, keeps them in his vocal sac for 50 days, then gives birth by spitting out fully formed baby froglets from his mouth. The Surinam toad, the female lays eggs that get pressed into the skin of her back. Her skin grows over them, embedding them in a honeycomb of little pockets. After a few months, tiny frogs push out through the skin. It looks like something from a horror movie. It is something from a horror movie. There are over 7,500 species of frogs on Earth, on every continent except Antarctica, and scientists are still discovering new ones, roughly 100 to 150 new species every single year. These aren't just slippery little animals you find near a pond at summer camp. They're living chemical factories. They're nature's experiment in survival. They're helping researchers solve problems in medicine that humans haven't been able to crack. And right now, somewhere in your state, somewhere in North America, a wood frog is sitting frozen under a pile of leaves, waiting for spring. Heart stopped, blood still, and absolutely fine.